Hey there, fellow movie enthusiast. Do you remember those good old days when you gathered around the TV, popcorn in hand, and tuned in to watch the 1974 classic, Young Frankenstein? Ah, the nostalgia. It's like unlocking a treasure chest of memories. I can almost see you sitting there, sharing laughs and gasps with family and friends as you journeyed through the hilarious and spooky world of Dr. Frederick Frankenstein and his quirky companions. There's something magical about reminiscing those favorite moments. The put, the candle, back, scene, or the iconic Transylvania Station musical number. And who could forget the unforgettable characters like Igor, Inga, and, of course, the lovable monster himself. So, tell me, dear friend, what's your fondest memory of watching Young Frankenstein? Was it the witty humor, the timeless gags, or maybe that undeniable charm that only Mel Brooks could deliver? Share your stories, and let's relive those golden moments together. And now, without further ado, let's dive into some fascinating random facts about this cinematic gem, shall we? It's time to uncover the hidden gems and behind-the-scenes tales that make Young Frankenstein even more captivating. Let the journey begin, my friend. In the 1974 movie Young Frankenstein, actress Madeline Kahn showcased her remarkable singing talent. Known for her operatic training, Kahn sang completely on key in the film. However, it's worth noting that in another 1974 movie, Blazing Saddles, where she played the character Lily Vaughn SHTPP, she intentionally sang off-key. This was quite a feat for an experienced singer like her, demonstrating her versatility as an actress. Regarding the film's cinematography, after the initial set of dailies, Mel Brooks and Gene Wilder, the film's creators, consulted with director of photography Gerald Hirschfeld. While Hirschfeld was generally pleased with the footage, Brooks expressed dissatisfaction. He felt that the film should satirize the look of the old Universal horror films. Gene Wilder, however, came to Hirschfeld's defense, explaining that their intention was to poke fun at the genre rather than faithfully replicate it. Following this discussion, Hirschfeld made some adjustments, and the subsequent dailies better aligned with the film's comedic vision. In the realm of film production, there was a peculiar situation related to color. Mel Brooks recalled how the studio attempted to persuade him to shoot Young Frankenstein in color, but on black and white stock. Their reasoning was to have a color version for newer markets like Peru, which had just adopted color technology. Brooks firmly declined, fearing that the studio might eventually release the film in color to save costs. He insisted that Young Frankenstein had to be shot on black and white thick film to maintain its intended aesthetic. These insights shed light on the creative process and decision-making behind the making of Young Frankenstein, a classic comedy horror film from 1974 that continues to entertain audiences with its clever humor and homage to the classic monster movie genre. Gene Wilder's iconic performance in Young Frankenstein. Gene Wilder's portrayal of Dr. Frederick Frankenstein in the 1974 film Young Frankenstein is celebrated as one of cinema's greatest performances. Ranked at number 9 on Premiere Magazine's list of 100 greatest performances of all time, it stands ahead of esteemed actors like Robert De Niro in Raging Bull and Daniel Day-Lewis in My Left Foot. Wilder's Dr. Frankenstein, the reluctant heir to the infamous mad scientist, Victor Frankenstein, brought a unique blend of humor and depth to the character. His comedic timing and ability to convey both fear and absurdity in the face of the monstrous experiments were nothing short of exceptional. This performance solidified Wilder's status as a comedic genius and established Young Frankenstein as a timeless classic in the realm of parody and horror. The film, directed by Mel Brooks, was a loving homage to the classic Universal Pictures monster movies of the 1930s. Wilder's Dr. Frankenstein epitomized the fine line between terror and laughter, making it a standout moment in his illustrious career. Young Frankenstein continues to be celebrated for its sharp wit and enduring humor, thanks in no small part to Gene Wilder's remarkable performance. It's a testament to his talent and the film's enduring legacy that his portrayal ranks among the greatest in cinematic history. The making of Young Frankenstein, behind-the-scenes insights in the production of the 1974 movie Young Frankenstein. Several intriguing behind-the-scenes stories shed light on the collaborative efforts of its creators. One particular anecdote involves Gene Wilder's persistence in including the iconic put-in on the Ritz scene. despite initial reluctance from director Mel Brooks. Wilder had conceived the idea for the musical number, envisioning it as a humorous and memorable moment in the film. However, Brooks initially dismissed it as a mere conceit that might deviate from the homage to Universal horror films that the movie aimed to maintain. Wilder, passionate about the scene, pushed back, even to the point of frustration. He recalled being close to rage and tears while advocating for its inclusion. Brooks eventually relented, saying, "It's in." Wilder asked why the change of heart, to which Brooks replied that since Wilder had fought for it, it must be the right decision. However, Brooks' confidence in the scene only solidified when he witnessed it with a live audience, who responded with enthusiasm. Another captivating behind-the-scenes tidbit involves the blind man scene, which includes moments where Peter Boyle's Frankenstein's monster has hot soup poured on him, and his thumb is lit on fire. To protect himself during these scenes, Boyle had a hot pad on his lap, and he held a fake thumb doused in alcohol to maintain the flame. Lastly, an interesting historical connection to the original Frankenstein mythos lies in the casting. Clement von Frankenstein, who made an uncredited appearance as a villager in the film, was a descendant of the noble house of Frankenstein. This noble house was the namesake for the titular character in Mary Shelley's original novel, adding a subtle layer of historical significance to the film. In summary, Young Frankenstein not only delivered on its promise of humor and homage to classic horror, but also carried fascinating stories from its production. These anecdotes, from Gene Wilder's determination to the protection measures during fiery scenes to the historical connection and casting, provide a glimpse into the movie's creative process. In the 1974 movie Young Frankenstein, directed by Mel Brooks, there's an interesting nod to the past, and a bit of fourth wall breaking by Marty Feldman's character, Igor. Firstly, the film pays homage to Universal Pictures' Frankenstein franchise from 1931 to 1945. However, one unique twist comes during the musical number put in on the Ritz. Instead of using the original, racially insensitive lyrics of Irving Berlin's song, the film opts for the revised lyrics from 1946. This choice reflects a more sensitive approach to cultural issues in the 1970s. Secondly, Marty Feldman's character, Igor, breaks the fourth wall not once, but 5 times in the movie. This breaks the usual conventions of film storytelling, adding a touch of humor and playfulness to the movie. Lastly, it's worth noting that Mel Brooks himself considers Young Frankenstein one of his best directed films. However, when it comes to ranking his funniest movies, he places it third, after Blazing Saddles and The Producers. Brooks confirmed these views in interviews celebrating his 90th birthday in 2016. In Young Frankenstein, Mel Brooks masterfully blends humor, homage, and a touch of subversion, making it a classic comedy in its own right. As we bid adieu to the realm of Young Frankenstein, we journey through the cinematic tapestry woven with humor, horror, and heart. The year 1974 saw the birth of a masterpiece, a cinematic gem that continues to electrify our senses and tickle our funny bones. But beyond the bolts and stitches, Young Frankenstein invites us to explore our own humanity, our capacity for laughter, and the enduring power of classic storytelling. Perhaps you found yourself chuckling alongside Dr. Frederick Frankenstein as he vehemently denies the legacy of his infamous ancestor, only to eventually embrace his own madcap destiny. Maybe it was the timeless charm of Igor or the delightfully eccentric Inga that etched a smile on your face. Or, quite possibly, the indomitable Frau Blücher and her ominous horse whinnies that sent shivers down your spine. In the heart of this uproarious tale, there lies a mirror to our own quirks and idiosyncrasies, a reminder that we're all a little mad in our own way, just as Dr. Frankenstein and his peculiar companions are. So, take a moment to reflect on your personal connection with Young Frankenstein. What scenes made you laugh until your sides ached? Which lines do you still quote with glee? Share your favorite memories, your cherished moments, or your profound insights, and let's keep the spark of this cinematic lightning alive. Thank you for joining us on this cinematic journey where laughter reigns and the spirit of Young Frankenstein lives on. Your time and interest are greatly appreciated, dear reader, viewer, as we celebrate this timeless classic together. Until we meet again, stay peculiar and keep the laughter alive. With cinematic nostalgia and boundless appreciation,